So not last night, but the night before, my phone buzzed really loud about 12:30 in the morning and woke me up. I don't know if anybody else knew about any experience with that. Some of you hear about that? Yeah, even some of the kids understand that happened. We had a big storm that was going through, and thankfully, nobody got hurt that I know of. That's what the newspaper said today. Nobody was killed. Nobody was seriously injured. But there was a big storm that was enough to cause some of these alerts to come up on our phones because there was a possibility, a very good possibility apparently, that a tornado would be coming through. And again, thankfully, it didn't hit the ground and cause a lot of damage or hurt anyone, but we had to be ready for it. And so in that case, for me, it meant getting up, getting out of bed, going into that interior room we talk about, a spot that has no windows to be able to be safe in case the tornado did come by. So about 20 minutes later, it seemed like everything was clear, and I was able to kind of get back to sleep. I peeked out the window, and it was still raining pretty good. We hadn't had rain in a while. And so I said, gosh, it's so good that we're getting rain. So very good. But it would have been even better if I could have got rain and been able to sleep all through the night at the same time. And that was one of those things that I think a lot of people probably had some experience like that, right? That we're glad for the rain, but not so happy about the big, big storm that comes through and wakes us up and kind of messes up our night and our sleep and keeps us a little bit off even for the rest of the day. But sometimes the good of something like the rain that we need comes along with a little bit of a difficulty or a challenge like we had with that big storm. And sometimes that's also the case in that path toward holiness. Jesus speaks today in our gospel reading. This is the Beatitudes reading. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are the humble. Blessed are the clean of heart. Blessed are those who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness. So he's talking about God's blessings being bestowed upon people who were not considered very blessed in their own time, people who were considered to be in a very difficult spot. And Jesus is able to say that because he knows that people who don't have that wonderful gifts of this world can rely more easily on God. And he also knows that sometimes for us, to grow with God, to really be connected to him, to really love him in a way that is exercising all our heart. Sometimes that involves some of those uncomfortable moments, some of those challenges, and sometimes that growth in holiness needs those challenges, kind of like the rain has to come along with the challenge of a big storm that wakes us up. And so, yes, we seek to be like the saint and to grow in that holiness with God. But as we do, we also know that God might shake us up a little bit. He might wake us up from what we're doing in order to help us to be like those wonderful saints that so many of you are dressed up as today, but also, very importantly, to live holiness, to live God's love in those everyday moments, in those things that we do here and now, in your classrooms at school, in your life at home, with your friends, whatever it may be. Those daily calls to holiness are where God reaches out to us. And we seek to respond. We seek always to live with him and to live the love that he offers us.